Hi, my name is Cheryl Patton, and in this video, I'm going to show you how a novice carpenter like myself built this beautiful planter box for my tomatoes. All of the instructions and the spec sheet are in the description below. I choose to use cedar decking and red cedar boards. I first cut the short sides, which were 2 feet, and I cut 6 of them. I then went on to cut the long side, and they are 4 feet. Of course, I needed 6 of those. My third cut is 1x2 pieces that are 4 feet long, and they will be holding the slats which are at the bottom of the box. My fourth cut are the legs. They are 2x4 cedar, and they are 30 inches high, and I need to cut 8 of them. When I do my measurements, I don't want a line in the wood knot like it is here. In this case, I had to remeasure the board. These are all my pieces, excluding the inside support board and the wood slats, which are at the bottom of the box. Here I am dry fitting the slat ledge and an actual slat so I know how long to cut the support board for the middle of the long side. I use a drill bit to pre-drill the holes, and then I use 1 1/4 inch deck screws to attach the support board, which is in the long side of the planter box. I use lots of screws here because I know that's what's holding these 3 long pieces together. I use exterior waterproof wood glue to glue down the long 1x2 slat ledge. Then I pre-drill holes and I drill in lots of screws because that's what's going to be holding the slat ledges at the bottom of the box. My next step is to assemble the legs. I glue them together perpendicular. I clamp them, and then I use a nail gun to nail them together. Once I've done that, I lay them flat and I use a 2-inch screw and I screw the short sides to the legs. Then I move forward and I screw the long sides to the legs. And this is what my box looks like prior to putting the slats at the bottom. Now it's time to cut my slats. I use fence pickets. I then nail them to that slat ledge, that 1x2 piece on the long sides. To finish off the top, I take my palm router and I route both sides of long 1x4 pieces of cedar. I then take my miter saw, I cut my miter cuts, and I nail it to the top of the box. Once I've sanded the entire exterior, I cover it with spar urethane. I figure if it's good enough for maritime ships, it must be good enough for my planter box. I take landscape fabric that I staple to the bottom. On the sides, I staple plastic. I happen to use a heavy-duty plastic garbage bag that I cut into pieces. I do this because I want it to drain out the bottom, but I don't want it to drain out the sides. To create a foundation for my box, I placed 4 square stone pavers in my flower bed, and I took 3 levels and made them level. As my family will attest to, I cannot stand anything that's crooked. Lastly, I put my box onto the pavers, and I filled it with dirt, and I planted tomato plants. Now I'm just waiting for the harvest. I hope you liked this video, and if you do, please give me a thumbs up. Meanwhile, happy building!